BoogeyMan band coming round the bend. Is BoogeyMan band? Is BoogeyMan band?
Greetings, my fellow Fried Fiends, and thanks so much for dropping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. This is my final video of 2024. I hope everyone has had a great Christmas, and I hope everyone has a great New Year and a wonderful 2025. 2024 has been a very trying year for me, and people that have been following me on this channel and on Instagram know that it's had a lot of big downs and some really nice moments as well. So it's not just been completely bad news. This year I had a milestone. I turned 50 this year, so that was pretty amazing. The other thing that happened this year is something I wrote got published in this book that is being put out by David Soul's official website. And it's celebrating the 45th anniversary of the greatest movie, in my opinion, Salems Lot, 1979's Salems Lot. This was just an amazing opportunity, and I was so grateful by Team Soul reaching out to me and asking me if I wanted to be a part of this amazing milestone. So yeah, that was a huge thing for me. Also did finish my book. It is done. Still needs to be, edited and everything. Been working with an artist for all of the artwork that's going to be in the book, including the cover, working with artist Mark Beer, who's just absolutely amazing, and he's working on my last art piece at this moment. The other great things that happened this year, I got to reunite with my Salems Lot minority brothers in Ferndale, that being Sam Straub and Danny Evans. Had a great time there. Unfortunately, my wife couldn't go because of work responsibilities, but still had an amazing time. And we sort of had tried, all of us had tried to sort of get a 45th anniversary event for the film, for Salems Lot, coordinated with the town and some of the actors that are still with us, and it just didn't work out. So we just sort of had a little 45th anniversary celebration of our own. And Sam's wife Lauren was there, his friend Natalie was there, and just had some really great experiences, like walking up to where Marston House was at night again and going on an adventure in the cemetery. It was a lot of fun and really a great time. Also, Salems Lot related, we did get the Salems Lot remake. Good, Bad, or Indifferent. I'm so glad that movie came out, and I will talk more about it as we get into my movies for the year. But did get to interview Danielle Perry, who plays Marjorie Glick in the film, and consider her a really good friend now. She's an amazing person, and I was proactive in reaching out to her to see if she would be interested in meeting with Danny, Sam, and I. So yeah, I'm really grateful for that. Another great milestone this year was talking to Cindy Moore, another video that is on my friend Danny Evans' channel, who was actually an extra in the original Salems Lot. She actually played Parkins Gillespie's daughter in one scene. And had some terrific behind-the-scenes moments of being on set in the summer of 1979 when they were filming it in Ferndale. That was amazing experience, and just so great that I got to work on that and coordinate that, and Danny put together a terrific video. And what people might have noticed is that I did not put Nosferatu in my top 10 because I haven't seen it yet. Unfortunately, with things that are going on at the house and things that are going on, I just haven't had a chance to go out and see it yet. I will be seeing it. Probably won't be till the beginning of January, but I will be doing a spooky screenings on it. So I apologize for that not being in this top 10. But for now, what I'm going to do is talk about my favorite movies. And I'm going to do this a little bit differently because I am going to include a non-horror film. First thing I'm going to talk about is some honorable mentions, one of which I did do a spooky screenings on, and the other one I didn't because I just watched it within the last month. So the first honorable mention for me, one that didn't make my top 10, was Abigail. I thought this film was great. It was a great new vampire film, and I thought everybody in the cast, from Dan Stevens to Melissa Barrera and the late great Angus Cloud, they all did a terrific job in it. I also really liked the young girl that played Abigail, that being Alicia Weir. She really had a Danny Glick vibe to her. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just the makeup, or just me reminiscing about Ron Scribner in that role from the original Salem's Lot. But I thought Alicia Weir did a terrific job as the main character, and I can't wait to see her in more. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, terrific film. My other honorable mention will be the directorial debut of Zoe Kravitz, and that is Blink Twice. That was starring Channing Tatum. You also have Naomi Ackie, Alia Shawkat, Christian Slater, Simon Rex, Haley Joel Osment. The subject matter is very probably triggering for people. There was like a warning before we watched it, which surprised me. But yeah, I mean, it might bother a lot of people, just what it deals with, because it is pretty relevant to our times right now with some of the things that are going on politically. So I do recommend people watching it. It might not be for everybody, but I really appreciate it. And I think Zoe Kravitz just showed what a terrific director she is. Okay, now we are on to my top 10 horror films for 2024. So number 10 for me is going to be Terrifier 3, which I saw in October in the movie theater. It's the first Terrifier film that I've seen on the big screen. David Howard Thornton kills it as Art the Clown. I also love Lauren Lavera. She's terrific in this film. And this film just pushed the envelope, but it didn't push it to the point, for me at least, where it was unwatchable. You know, that does deal with kids getting killed. It does deal with some pretty gory moments, just like the other films. Some of them were shockingly gorier, but again, I don't take it seriously. It's cartoonish gore. And I really just thought this had a good flow to it. It kept me guessing until the end. I'm really curious to see where they're going to go with a Terrifier 4. Number 9 for me is going to be Maxine. This was the conclusion to Ty West's trilogy, starting with X and Pearl in 2022 and concluding with Maxine. I was actually really surprised that people were so negative towards this one. This is my favorite of the three. I just really love the Ken Russell, very, seedy kind of LA feel with the neon and things like that. I just really got that from this film. And I also just thought Mia Goth is so great as Maxine. I love seeing her as Pearl, but for me, Maxine that character is where she really shines. Kevin Bacon as John Labatt. I just thought he was terrific. Such a sleazy guy, and he plays him so brilliantly. You could just tell he was having a blast. And I love that they used the Universal Studios backlot. We see the Psycho House. I mean, there was so many things in this that just spoke to me. And I just thought it was a really fitting conclusion to this character, seeing where she is now after the events of X. Number 8 for me is going to be Osgood Perkins' film Longlegs, starring Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage, and also Alicia Witt and Blair Underwood. I know that, again, this was one where people said, it was they were promised one thing and got something else. I loved that. The character of Longlegs really terrified me, and I thought that this film was expertly directed. I love Osgood Perkins, of course, the son of my favorite actor of all time, Anthony Perkins. And I've been a fan of Oz's directing style, from The Black Coat's Daughter to Gretel and Hansel. I think he's a terrific filmmaker. This film really had the vibe of Silence of the Lambs. I love that it was set in the 90s. And it has that vibe of Silence of the Lambs, and I think that's what people thought they were going for. But it goes for something different, and I think that threw a lot of people off, especially as we got into the third act, but it worked for me. It was so well done, so scary. Really creeped me out. There's a couple of points where I was truly, my skin was crawling, and I loved it. And I think it's Osgood Perkins' best film, and he's done some terrific films that I really love. But yeah, this one was great, and I thought Micah Monroe did a terrific job as Lee Harker. I thought she was amazing in this film, as was Alicia Witt as her mom, Ruth Harker, who really scared me almost as much as Nick Cage did as Longlegs. There were some really creepy moments with her. Number 7 for me is going to go to Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Again, I know it's not a horror film, but I was so looking forward to this film. Some people said there was too many things going on. For me, I thought it was perfect. It was so much fun. It was great seeing the cast come back. I love that Ernie Hudson, who is my second favorite actor in the Ghostbusters franchise after Bill Murray's Peter Venkman. I love Winston Zeddemore, and I always felt like Winston Zeddemore was kind of overlooked, and he was always one of my favorites, and I love that he's the one that's kind of financing the Ghostbusters now. I love that Walter Peck came back, and I think that McKenna Grace, Carrie Coon, Finn Wolfhard, and of course Paul Rudd were all terrific as the new Ghostbusters. It really was well done. It was scary. It had some terrific moments, some dark moments, a lot of nods to the old films. Can't say enough great things about it. Number 6 for me is a movie that I just watched a couple days ago and I did a spooky screenings on, and that is The Substance. Of course, directed by Coralie Forget and starring Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, and Dennis Quaid. I've already just recently talked about it. This movie blew my mind, expectations out the window. It just completely surprised me with where they went. It was fantastically executed, terrific story about just how women are treated in the entertainment industry, and then you have this black market drug, cell-replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of yourself, and just the outcome when Elizabeth Sparkle decides to do that, and she creates the character of Sue, which is a younger version of her, and it was a intense, mind-blowing film, and I cannot give enough credit to everybody involved. Number 5 on my list is going to go to Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus, which is my 3rd favorite of the Alien films. Growing up as a kid, I loved the original Alien, but really got into the films with Aliens release, and I didn't see either of those in the theater. I was too young for Alien. It came out when I was 5. Aliens came out when I was 12, but I remember my Uncle Tim going to see it and telling my mom and I how scary it was, that he was screaming through the whole thing, and my Aunt Joanne, who's passed on, told me she was just like, she said she was more scared of him than the movie because he was just freaking out in the movie theater. But I grew up with Aliens. I think it's one of the greatest movies ever made, one of the greatest sequels ever made. But Alien and Aliens are hand in hand for me, much like Halloween and Halloween 2 and Psycho 2. Those films, they're a 1-2 punch for me, and they go hand in hand. And Alien 3, through pretty much all of them, I did appreciate Prometheus. But yeah, with the last one, Alien Covenant, I was a little disappointed in that film. I didn't think they captured the essence of what those first 2 films were, and that is until Romulus, Alien Romulus, came out. And I just loved everybody in the film. I love Kaylee Spaney as Rain and David Johnson as Andy. And I just think the fact that they used practical effects, the fact that it was a very kind of tight story, and I am happy that they're going to be doing another one. I love that there was a small tie-in to the Prometheus films, the Prometheus and Alien Covenant films. So that was great because that was supposed to be a trilogy that never happened. So yeah, I really love this film. I can't wait to see where they go with it next. It's revitalized the franchise for me. Now, this might piss a lot of people off, but I don't care. I've already talked about it. But number 4 for me is going to be the new Salem's Lot, Salem's Lot 2024. And I've talked about it in so many videos, so I'm not going to go into a lot here, but I really don't care what people think. Yes, I understand that the movie does feel choppy and rushed, but for me, there's heart to this film. I see it. After talking with Danielle Perry, who played Marjorie Glick in the film, there was a lot that went into this film. Unfortunately, it was betrayed by the studio, who hacked it up and threw it out onto streaming. This movie should have gone to theaters. I love the film. I still enjoy watching it. Yes, it's not going to touch the 79 film, but for me, it was leaps and bounds above the 2004 miniseries, and so many people like that film, and I don't get it. But I accept it. So if people like that one, that's great. I like this one. Number 3 for me is going to be Beetlejuice, another film that I never thought was going to happen. I grew up loving Beetlejuice, saw the first one a few weeks before my 14th birthday. My mom took me to see it after school and loved that film. And I knew a sequel, even though I was excited to see where they were going to go, I knew a sequel was never going to touch the original one. So I put the original one out of my hand. But rewatching the film, I got it as a Christmas gift. I've rewatched it a handful of times before doing this video. I love this film, and it goes hand in hand with that original film for me. The original Beetlejuice is wacky, and people are just so used to it because it's been around for almost 4 decades. So people that watch this one and say, oh, it's weird and It's not a kid's film, which I'm so grateful that it's not. It's wacky in just a different way, but still feels like it cohesively fits with that original 1988 film. This felt like a Tim Burton film. I love that they used practical effects and miniatures and everything that made that first film stand out so well. And I just think it's a perfect sequel, and I enjoy watching them both back to back. Number 2 for me is going to be A Quiet Place Day One, which is my favorite film in the Quiet Place franchise. But this one has a more special place in my heart, and I think a lot of it has to do with just the amazing work of Lupita Nyong'o as Sam. Of course, she has the cat Frodo in it, which I thought was a really nice Lord of the Rings reference, but what an amazing character arc in this film. You have this woman who is in the middle of this alien invasion who's dying of cancer, and it just adds a whole new element to the Quiet Place franchise that we didn't have with the other ones. The other ones dealt with a family trying to survive. This deals with a woman who's pretty much dying, and how would somebody that is dying deal with this kind of situation? It hit all the emotions. The music, the direction by Michael Sarnowski, who I want to see Pig. I still haven't seen it, but I really just love this film 100%. And rewatching it just recently, it was another one I got for Christmas. It breaks my heart. It's emotional. And I think Lupita Nyong'o should be nominated for an Oscar for this performance. She is absolutely amazing. She's such a great actress without even saying anything. She has such expressive eyes, and just what an amazing actress. And my number one horror film for 2024 is Smile 2. I love the original Smile. I think Parker Finn just did a fantastic job. I thought Sassy Bacon and Kyle Gallner were so good in that first film. And I had no idea what to expect with this film. And oh my God, my jaw hit the floor with Smile 2. And I think it's all because of the main actress, Naomi Scott, as Sky Riley. What an amazing performance. Another one that I think should be nominated for an Oscar. She is a tour de force in this film. I have never seen Naomi Scott in anything before. I know she was Jasmine in the live-action Aladdin, which I didn't want to watch. But not only did she have to play this, superstar, and she did all her own music in this, and then just the moments of hysteria that she goes through when this demon starts completely manipulating her life. She does it so effortlessly, and she's such a good actress. She blew me away in this film, and I cannot wait to see if they do a Smile 3 where they're going to go, because man, does this movie leave off on, where the fuck are they going to go now? But yeah, absolutely mind-blowing film. I loved Smile 2. Everything about it is fantastic. So yeah, number 1 for me for 2024 is Smile 2. And as you guys have probably guessed by what I'm wearing, my favorite film of the year, my favorite non-horror film of the year was Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. But not only was this the 40th anniversary of that original film, but this was a 30-year wait that finally happened. I've been waiting for Beverly Hills Cop 4 since Beverly Hills Cop 3 came out when I was 20 years old. It was a film I never thought would see the light of day. But it was just a huge gift for me, being a fan of this franchise for as long as I have. I saw the first one when I was 10 years old. Axel Foley, just like John McClane, is my favorite movie cop. I love that character so much, and I just wanted to see one more film. As much as I can appreciate Beverly Hills Cop 3, and I've grown to love it more in the 3 decades since it came out. When it first came out, it was a little disappointing for me, but I still supported it. It was disappointing because it didn't have all of the cast members back. It didn't feel like the first 2 films. It felt a little cartoonish. And even Eddie Murphy was off in it. He didn't feel like Axel Foley. He felt like Axel Foley in this new film. This was an older Axel Foley that was still trying to, very much like in the vein of Top Gun, Maverick, still doing the same things he did in his 20s and 30s, but being an older man, being a father now. And then, his daughter being in danger and him going back to Beverly Hills after so long and reconnecting with Taggart, played by the late great John Ashton, and Rosewood, played by Judge Reinhold, but also Bobby Abbott, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who I thought was terrific in the film. But just the direction by Mark Malloy, just the fact that it just felt like, again, like Beetlejuice, it felt like it fit in that universe that was created back in 1984 with Martin Brest's film. It just felt so fluid, and for a Netflix film, it was fantastic. And I think they all did a terrific job. Of course, it's not the original film. It's not even part 2. But man, was it a better film than Beverly Hills Cop 3, which again, I still really love. But it just brought me back, and it just brought these characters back that had been in hibernation for so long, and it just felt perfect for me. It might not be the perfect film for a lot of people. A lot of people might think it's kind of bland and boring and by the numbers, but for me, it was everything I would want. 30 years of waiting for a new Beverly Hills Cop, and to see Eddie Murphy come back as this character and look like he's having a good time playing him again. He was just at a different stage in his career when he did part 3. And I'm so glad that he did this. I really just, with the tragic passing of John Ashton several months after this movie came out, I really don't think we're going to get a part 5. I think this is perfect. I hope they just end it here. I think it's a perfect film series now. You got 4 films. One that a lot of people really don't like, which is part 3, but I still have so much fun with that because it really just feels like a 90s film to me, and it was actually shot in an amusement park that's really close to where I live, that I've been to many times growing up. So yeah, I just had so much fun with Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. It's my favorite non-horror film of the year. But that's going to be it, my fellow fiends. Again, I want to wish everyone a very happy new year. Thank you so much for supporting BoogeyMan Ben's Horror Zone. It's been an amazing year for the channel. I'm almost at 6,200 subs, which is incredible for me, for someone who does this for fun. This isn't a career. This is something I do. It's an outlet. It's a great way to connect to people that like the same kinds of things that I do. And it just really means a lot that people continue to come back here and leave me nice comments. And yeah, I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much again for watching. And I promise there's some great stuff to look forward to in 2025. So happy new year. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Hey, my fellow Fright Fiends, I just want to thank everyone for supporting BoogeyMan Ben's Horror Zone. If you haven't yet subscribed and you'd like to, please hit the subscribe button down below. Click the bell notification so you're updated every time I drop a new video. I try to drop a video at least once or twice a week. The Horror Zone is a passion of mine, and it really makes me happy that I can share that passion with all of you guys. Thanks so much again for the support, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace.